I'm saying. A loaded '06 Ford cars with the moonroof for only $15,988. Hey, Lou.
Yo.
If Kramer's right and Mel buys XM, then how do I get Sirius in my GM Suburban if it's got XM in it now?
Well, they'd probably give you another unit. They'd swap them.
Oh, I see.
But it depends on how it shakes out after it gets bought.
Oh, I see.
You don't know how to. But they'll take their unit out and give you another one, I'm sure.
Okay.
They'd have to.
Let me talk to you about Lumber Liquidators. Lumber Liquidators carries one of the largest inventories of pre-finished and unfinished hardwood floors in the industry. We're talking about, Lumber Liquidators with 80 locations nationwide, operating from mostly warehouse locations, unburdened by high-dollar rent and lease situations, so it doesn't cost them a lot to stack the wood in there and sell it to you. You can get a hardwood floor set at 99 cents a square foot. And they have hundreds of styles of wood. From sustainable forests, environmentally friendly wood. You can call them at 1-800-FLOORING or go to lumberliquidators.com. Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for a lot less than you'd think. Man, I'm telling you.
Once there was a book called the SBC Yellow Pages. Every year, people waited eagerly for the book to arrive. But one year, a different-looking book came.
What should we do with this book?
What should they do with this book? This new AT&T Yellow Pages. They smelled it. They poked it.
Hand me a stick.
They tasted it. Then one very brave little girl walked up to the book. She carefully looked inside. Why, it was just as good as the SBC Yellow Pages. In fact, it was the SBC Yellow Pages, but with a new name. Hooray! Pure joy delivered. When a new book comes to your door, just make sure it's the new AT&T Yellow Pages with the AT&T logo on the cover, with more complete ads and up-to-date local listings. Need something online? Search for it at yellowpages.com. The new AT&T. Your world delivered.
The New York SBC Yellow Pages is now the AT&T Yellow Pages, and it's coming to your door with more ads and up-to-date listings. No other book is more complete.
The Mets get back into action this afternoon when they head to Wrigley Field to open a 3-game series with the Chicago Cubs. Game time is 2:20 with Mets Extra underway at 1:40. This is Tom McCarthy. Join me along with Ed Coleman for all the play-by-play, exclusively on your flagship station for Mets baseball, The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
This country is filled with millionaires living the good life. And you know what? Those millionaires are just like you. Hi, this is Dolph DeRoos, and I should know, without a single penny, I bought my first property at the age of only 17. Since then, I've become a real estate millionaire living the good life. I want to share my secrets with as many people as possible, so I've put together a powerful tape giving you the basics, and I'm giving it away. That's right, it's free. All you have to do to get it is call 1-800-500-6612. Once you listen, you'll see that you're no different from all those real estate millionaires. It's absolutely true. Even if you don't own a home, you still have what it takes to become rich. Very rich. And I'm going to prove it to you. Just pick up the phone and ask for my free tape. Call 1-800-500-6612. Look, this country is filled with millionaires living the good life. Become one of them. Call 1-800-500-6612. 1-800-500-6612.
Get a head start on your weekend. Pick up the Sunday New York Times on Saturday evening. You'll find it at participating news dealers across the area, including many Starbucks stores.
Xbox, GameCube, PlayStation. You know the game systems are selling like hotcakes, but that's nothing compared to the money being made selling the games and accessories for game systems. Want to get in on the action? Want to learn how to do it for free? If you've been waiting for the next big thing, we want to send you free software that will show you everything you need to know to sell games and accessories online. That's right. You can get a piece of the video game profit. And here's the best part. You don't have to buy or even store anything. You just collect your money. And when it comes to gaming, there's a lot of money to be collected. If you think that gaming is just a fad, don't call. But if you know a good thing when you see it, pick up the phone and get your free software that will plug you into the lucrative world of gaming. For your free software, call ISI at 1-800-600-5971. The number that will change your life forever is 1-800-600-5971. You've got to call for your free software. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-600-5971.
There's only one way to toast your view of the Golden Gate Bridge from the top of Nob Hill.
Cheers. There's only one way to relax with a rose and grapeseed oil massage in the heart of wine country.
There's only one way to experience California this summer. Fairmont Hotels and Resorts. Stay at the landmark Fairmont San Francisco for rates starting as low as $229 a night, or stay at the incomparable Fairmont Sonoma Mission Inn and Spa from just $329 a night, because only Fairmont can bring you the very heart and soul of California.
There's only one way to finish off a winery tour with a thermal mineral water spa.
Discover for yourself how Fairmont Hotels and Resorts brings you the destination like no one else can. For details and to learn about our only one-way summer rates, visit Fairmont.com or contact your travel professional.
Now broadcasting in high definition and streaming at WFAN.com. We are your flagship station for Imus in the morning and Mike and the Mad Dog in the afternoon. We are the Fan. Sports Radio 66. WFAN, New York.
It's a never-ending necessity for more and more office space.
For retail leases they hand you, it's almost a book.
50 pages of legalese.
Am I going to be able to do this?
Calling the realtor should be the first thing you do.
And when he got here, I could see he was wearing that realtor pin. That's the guy to talk to.
Buying or leasing a commercial property? Let someone with expertise and experience be your partner. Ask your agent if they're a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
Really helped me take my business where I wanted it to go.
A message from your local, state, and national realtor associations.
If you're looking to ramp up your ride, get ready. Advance Auto Parts has a brand new feature in store for you. Get ready for our new Special Order Center, your one-stop shop for everything you could ever want in parts and performance accessories. Get ready for direct-to-your-door delivery or convenient in-store pickup. When you want the most complete selection of parts and accessories, the only place to go is the new Special Order Center in Advance Auto Parts. We're ready in advance.
This is the Imus in the Morning radio program on WFAN New York and streaming on WFAN.com. It is 7 o'clock Eastern Time for the headline stories. Israel continuing its retaliation against Hezbollah in Lebanon with airstrikes on the Beirut airport and residential buildings in the southern part of the capital. 3 more people have been killed, bringing the death toll since Wednesday to 51. 55 have been wounded. Israeli Interior Minister Rani Bar-On says clearly the relationship between Israel and Lebanon has changed.
We have to redefine the rules, the ground rules between us and the Lebanon government and the Hezbollah organization.
The militant Shiite Muslim group has answered Israel's assault by showering parts of the Jewish state with rocket fire. Hezbollah has fired more than 130 rockets into northern Israel in the past 48 hours alone, killing 2 Israeli civilians, according to the Israeli Defense Force. The UN Security Council is set for an emergency session this morning about the situation. Yesterday, the U.S. vetoed a UN Security Council resolution condemning Israel for its attacks on Gaza. John Bolton, U.S. ambassador to the UN, called the resolution unbalanced and went on to say that Iran is funding Israel's attackers.
There's unquestionably Iranian involvement in financial and other support for Hezbollah and Hamas. That's been one of the reasons why we've called Iran the central banker of terrorism, one of the principal reasons they've been for decades on the U.S. list of state sponsors of terrorism.
The White House continues to watch the situation through the eyes of Secretary of State Rice, among others, of course. She is traveling in Europe and says that while Israel has the right to defend itself, she says the leaders there needs to think things through.
The point about restraint, I think, has been taken by our Israeli colleagues. I think that they understand why they need to exercise restraint.
She is urging nations such as Egypt to try to exert influence to stop the violence. Dr. Rice said Iran and Syria are principal supporters of the Hezbollah organization. President Bush heading on to Russia this morning for the G8 summit in St. Petersburg. He plans a pre-summit dinner tonight with President Vladimir Putin, who has called on all sides this morning, by the way, Mr. Putin, to stop the violence in the Middle East. Before the meeting, Mr. Bush will be gathering with leaders of Russian human rights groups. He continues actually to voice concern about democratic backsliding in Putin's Russia, but says that he is not actually bashing his friend. And officials acknowledge the president needs Putin's help in bringing Middle East peace, if possible, and halting Iran's and North Korea's nuclear programs.
We'll have more coming up. It's 3 minutes after the hour.
The news is sponsored by Newsday. Read Newsday every day.
Good morning, Long Island. Read these stories today only in Newsday. Can you drink the water? Only in Newsday, inside the lab that keeps tabs on water safety. 11 cool things to do this weekend, from a barbecue cook-off to a tropical luau. And in the wheels section, your entry to Newsday's gas card giveaway. For news and information you can't find anywhere else, read Newsday every day.
Newsday every day. Newsday every day.
Did you know Waldbaum's is joining Newsday's Purple Pack next week?
So now you'll be getting supermarket circulars from King Cullen, Best Yet, Uncle Giuseppe's, and Waldbaum's.
Newsday subscribers get your Purple Pack circulars every Thursday, right next to the comics.
Don't subscribe to Newsday yet? Get your circulars in your mailbox in an easy-to-find sealed purple pack.
Newsday's Purple Pack, now including Waldbaum's.
It's one more way Newsday helps you save money every day.
Newsday every day. Newsday every day.
What you are about to hear is shocking. If you or anyone around you might be sensitive to information regarding an amazing offer on the all-wheel drive Volvo XC90 V8, please be advised. Still there? Okay. The all-wheel drive Volvo XC90 V8 luxury SUV is now leasing for the incredible price of just $389 per month. Yes, it's true. Now you can experience the comfort and safety of the best-selling European luxury SUV at an even more affordable price. And if that's not shocking enough, this premium SUV also comes with a 311 horsepower V8 engine, sumptuous leather seats, roll stability control with gyroscopic sensors, and a 7-passenger cabin, all for just $389 per month. But hurry, this astonishing offer is only available for a limited time during the Volvo year-end sales event. Lease an all-wheel drive Volvo XC90 V8 for $389 a month for 24 months. $3,904 due at signing. Taxes, title, and registration fees extra. Visit tristatevolvodealers.com or call 877-24-VOLVO.
5 minutes after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. I talked to Dan Abrams yesterday, Charles.
Yeah?
And we'll get to the news in a minute. We had practically a war in the Middle East, and we're going to talk with Tom Friedman in about an hour or so. And Tom Brokaw's coming up, too. And he's still pretty much plugged in, knows what's going on, so we'll talk to him as well.
Great.
And Tom has a couple of specials coming up, one on the Discovery Channel, bugs having sex or something, and then something else he's doing for NBC. I'm not quite sure what that is, but...
On the inner city a week from Sunday.
Right.
Jackson, Mississippi in particular.
Okay, so we're looking forward to those. And Omar Minaya, general manager of the New York Mets here, they're in first place in National League by 10 or 12 games.
That's right, baby.
But at any rate, we have, so I'm talking to Abrams. I was telling Charles last night, Abrams is the general manager of MSNBC, and the guy actually running things with Dan is Phil Griffin. I talked to him yesterday as well. And Abrams called I don't know what he wanted. He told me something, and he told me that I couldn't tell anybody, and so I immediately forgot what he said. But then I had to email Chernoff the other day. I couldn't remember who was on the program that morning. I mean, I was, driving to the airport with the kids, so...
The signs are everywhere.
Yeah, they're all over.
All over.
All over.
They should take away your driver's license.
So, so Abrams says to... always tell me about something. I said, by the way, I'm sick of Jack Welch. Enough. So I was watching him with Matthews. And he said, did you know he was on the cover of Fortune magazine? And I said, now what I should have done is just simply said, really? Or whatever. I'll be darned. Because it was at that moment clear, and by the way, he told us how great our numbers were on MSNBC. He said, not that you care. And I said, well, of course I care. I mean, well, when will they get it through their head that we like MSNBC?
We're not the
like
enemy.
A lot of people, huh?
We're not the enemy.
We're not, no, we like it. We're enthusiastic. We're enthusiastic supporters.
Great to be here.
I told Charles last night, I said, Abrams' enthusiasm is frankly contagious.
Yep.
I mean, a year from now, it may be a different story, but we're ready. We're on board here. So rather than saying that, because it was clear at that point that he had not watched a second of the program that morning or listened to it.
Right.
So, I don't know what the hell he was doing, but I said, well, you know, we devoted some time to that on this morning's program. I said, what were you watching, Fox and Friends? He said, well, I don't know what he said.
So, rather than some magnanimous thing where you just let it pass, there's a snide comment.
Well, I was irritated because he was clueless, you know. So, but maybe, you know, whatever. But we have a melancholy scene here at the ranch.
Come on.
Because on August 25th, Bob Schieffer, the little Bob Schieffer bobblehead doll, because I've characterized what CBS is doing to Bob Schieffer is what the terrorists on the Achille Lauro did to poor old Leon Klinghoffer. God bless him. In a wheelchair, and they shoved him overboard, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Well, Bob is posed precariously on the edge of the hat box here, the Resistol hat box. And boys, behind Bob is a big old Jeffson boot. And we're going to kick his old ass in the water on August 25th. That's our last day here at the ranch to broadcast. I'll still be here with kids till September, but... And the two little ducks, Tom and Tim, after Tom Brokaw and Tim Rusted, I named them. They're huddled together there in the water. Can you see them, Charles?
I sure can. Oh, God, look at that is sad. Look at their little eyes. They're waiting for a tsunami. Yes.
They're looking over the edge.
That is a melancholy scene.
Looking at the I-Man. And their little eyes are pleading.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it, I-Man.
Don't kick old Bob in the water.
But look at that threatening, menacing boot right at Bob's butt.
Right. Bob's going in the drink on the 25th.
Yeah, he is.
Thanks, trying to get
Mr. Moonves.
Trying to get Les Moonves to fly out and actually do the honor.
To manipulate the boot.
Yeah. It's 10 minutes after the hour. The Gillette Vitamin World Business Report's coming up a little bit. Joe Benigno's here to do sports, but Chuck has the news now. Good morning, Charles.
More rockets have hit Israeli communities today. No casualties reported, but they're saying that is largely because some 220,000 Israeli citizens are now staying in bomb shelters. While Israel and Hezbollah guerrillas exchange fire, Bush administration working the diplomatic channels to try to stop it. The U.S. is leaning on Arab allies to get Hezbollah guerrillas to knock off the rocket attacks on Israel, while also urging the Israelis to demonstrate restraint. President Bush, meantime, heads on from Germany to Russia this morning for the G8 summit in St. Petersburg. He will dine later with Russian President Vladimir Putin, who issued a statement today calling on all parties involved in the current explosion of violence in the Middle East to please stop it. And the U.S. ambassador to Iraq is urging patience as the new government there evolves, the ambassador testifying in a hearing of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
Americans should be strategically optimistic about Iraq, even as the continuing difficulties in Iraq will require tactical patience.
Ambassador Khalizad argued that the political progress that has been made in Iraq has created opportunities and has put Iraq on the right trajectory. Delaware Democrat Joe Biden praised the ambassador, but said the Bush administration still has no clear strategy for victory in Iraq.
That Iraq and the success of our mission there remains a prisoner of a terrible and growing violence and a lack of a sufficient plan, coordinated plan with the new government as well, to stop it.
Senator Biden, who recently visited Iraq, argued that the United States has traded a dictator, Saddam Hussein, for chaos. And in this country, California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger has declared a state of emergency now in San Bernardino County. The fire season in full and horrible swing, a nearly 48,000-acre fire on course to possibly merge with an 8,200-acre blaze at the San Bernardino National Forest, where it could feed on vast stands of dead trees.
We had Chuck Henry, Channel 4 News in L.A., out on the scene, actually.
Yep.
Hadn't seen Chuck out of the studio in a while. But he was out there. Hair still looked pretty good. But, man, that's a mess.
It is.
Absolutely. And those fires are about to get together, you know.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The Sawtooth Fire, which has destroyed more than 150 homes and buildings, is edging northwest toward the forest, and an evacuation has been ordered for dozens of homes in Morongo Valley. Containment is now estimated at just 20%, And then just 5 miles from that, the Millard fire has scorched 1,200 acres in the forest, 5% contained.
Temperatures up over 100, humidity around 15%, and light winds. But boy, they can get some pretty strong winds there. Winds are blowing in the right direction, but at least they were yesterday. Of course, you know how that is. But man, that's
to push those two fires together. At this point, officials are saying that it would just be, you just have to wait until it finally burned itself out.
Yeah, 40,000 acres, you might have said. But
yeah, 48,000 acres in one course and 8,200 in the other.
Jesus.
And then about 85 miles southeast of San Francisco, a wind-driven wildfire is heading toward a state park in Santa Clara County, and that one has burned more than 27,000 acres.
That's why, thank God, we got all this rain in northern New Mexico.
Boy, no kidding.
So the ranch looks... I was over at the Salt Pond, which is a natural pond on the lake. It's about an acre pond, I guess.
Yeah.
It's as full as I've ever seen it in the 10 years I've been here.
Oh, that's great.
Goes all the way to the highway, actually. The business report, sponsored by Fusion, and Fusion powered by Gillette. We'll get to Andrea Mitchell in a second. She's waiting to talk about the Middle East thing. And by Vitamin World, your number one vitamin source. Get all your Imus Ranch food items and the greening and cleaning stuff, the window cleaner and the all-purpose cleaner, which is, you can't make enough of it to sell it. It works better than anything on the market, either toxic or non-toxic. Of course, it's completely non-toxic. Makes no sense to use anything else. And why have stuff under your sink that kids can drink and kill themselves? It's stupid. So, get them a Vitamin World. Well, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, we were talking with James Kramer from Mad Money a little while ago, down 167 points. Chuck informs me that the oil is nearly $80 a gallon, or a barrel.
Pushing it.
Yeah. The NASDAQ down 36 points. So, Tricky Ricky Wagner over at GM, he says he wants to move expeditiously to review a possible alliance with Renault and Nissan, but adds that GM does not need that deal to return to making some money. Wagner told reporters that Renault and Nissan could take up to a 20% stake in GM. So GM lost $10.6 billion last year, but they're on the road to getting it done. 16 after the hour, here's Andrea Mitchell. She's the Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent for... I did want to mention, Charles, that Rich Ford, speaking of GM, Rich Ford in Edgewood, New Mexico, sold one of the Hummers.
Oh, they did?
$35,000 to a guy in Florida who must have a lot of money because he's flying to Albuquerque, then going up to Edgewood, New Mexico to pick up this black Hummer at 12,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
He's going to drive it back to Florida.
Cool. That's great.
Well, you'll have to have a line of credit.
Oh, man, no kidding. Holy cow.
So that money goes directly to the Imus Ranch for kids with cancer. They have one other Hummer there at Rich Ford. It has 15,000 miles on it. It's in pristine condition. You can buy that for $35,000 and write the check to the ranch. And we sold both Suburbans for $20,000 each, and that money went to the ranch.
Right.
And, I offered to, when GM gave us these 4 new Suburbans that run on ethanol, I offered to give back the Hummers and the Suburbans, and they said, no, sell them and give the money to the ranch. And I said, that's a done deal.
Yep.
Anyway, Andrea Mitchell, Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent for NBC News. And here she is now. Good morning, Ms. Mitchell.
Good morning, Mr. Imus.
How are you?
I'm fine, but, the world is seized with what's happening in the Middle East. You're seeing it reflected in oil prices. President just landed in St. Petersburg, Russia, and en route from Germany. We're told from the White House he called King Abdullah of Jordan, he called President Mubarak of Egypt, and the Prime Minister Senora of Lebanon from Air Force One. But hard-pressed to figure out what he can accomplish in these phone calls that we couldn't better accomplish by having a high-level U.S. official on the ground in the region, and actually, according to critics, someone who should have been there in recent weeks, if not months, trying to knock heads and bring this thing together.
Why are we using this opportunity? Why are we using this report of yours as an opportunity to criticize our president who's doing the best he can do? What's that all about?
What I'm trying to do is frame for you what people are suggesting in both parties, Republicans and Democrats.
Why are you criticizing Andrea Mitchell, who is simply trying to provide context of the possibilities.
Well, it sounds more like the more liberal media beating up on our president.
Well, that's absurd.
That's what it sounds like to me.
It's not the liberal media. It's liberal Republicans, conservative Republicans, Democrats.
Most nations, speaking of criticizing Israel for a disproportionate reaction to the kidnapping of 2 soldiers, but 8 Israeli soldiers died yesterday, right? And I guess a lot of Lebanese have died as well.
And Haifa under attack. I mean, this is a very serious crisis for Israel. Israeli intelligence officials have made it very clear to reporters, including myself, that they felt they needed to do something about Hezbollah once and for all. So they were waiting for a pretext to go after Hezbollah. They had been under continual rocket attack from Hezbollah bases in Lebanon. Hezbollah itself has its own agenda. This is a terror group that lost its sponsorship, still sponsored by Iran and Syria, but with the ejection of Syrian troops a year and a half ago from Lebanon, Hezbollah really lost its in-country sponsor and is trying to assert itself again and show its primacy in the region. So you've got the typical mix of forces in the Middle East with 2 terror groups, one, the militant wing of Hamas, with its partners now running the Palestinian Authority, the U.S. pretty much isolated from the rest of the world by giving Israel a green light while still cautioning that Israel should show some restraint. And it is a very complicated situation as the president arrives at the European summit.
Who started the bombing, Hezbollah or Israel?
Hezbollah started the bombing from continual rocket bombing for months into northern Israel. But Israel certainly escalated after the capture of its 2 soldiers a couple of days ago.
Well, what would we have done?
Exactly. Yeah. But there's no question Israel has to defend itself. I mean, there's no good or bad here. There are just levels of good and bad. The only question that is being raised is, who is the last remaining superpower, and why has there been so little shuttle diplomacy? Why has the Middle East, from the beginning of this administration, not been a prime objective? Colin Powell tried it and then was sort of shot down, undercut by the White House, and pulled back. Condi Rice was last there in November. She doesn't want to return because of the Hamas victory until that situation is clarified. So she has not been to Israel or the Palestinian territory since November.
Because the shops must be closed at the Beirut airport, huh?
That's not really her agenda. She's not a shopper.
Oh, okay. Did you...
We do have a UN delegation going there today, and that is another irony. The U.S. is now relying on the UN to
fix everything.
Fix it.
Right. Well, good. I'm glad they're going to show up there. Going to have their white truck with the blue letters and all that with their dopey hats. Hey, by the way, are you in front of a television?
I am in front of a television. I'm looking at your handsome presence right now.
Did you see the...
Now you're slanting the news.
Bob Schieffer's going in to drink here on August 25th.
No, he's not.
Oh, yeah, he is. Well, you be in front of your TV that morning.
Well, then it's fixed.
Did you see the 2 little ducks here? I've named them, by the way. Andrea and Crazy Al.
Have you really?
Yeah, after your lovely...
Is that our little bathtub there?
Well, yeah. That represents the Atlantic Ocean for us here. And Bob, little bobblehead doll that they were giving fans at the Fort Worth minor league baseball game when they had Bob Schieffer Night there. It's poised on the hat box and got the big old Justin Boot behind him, and they're going to kick his ass in the water here on much as Les Moonves, my boss, and these other people are doing to poor old Bob. And
I think Bob is a very happy camper.
Oh, sure. He's
been touring. He was out in Aspen, Colorado with Katie Couric and going to affiliates and...
Happy camper. Leon Klinghoffer wanted to go for a swim.
Well, you're just, have you seen the promos Mr. Schieffer's making for the arrival of Miss Couric?
Exactly, Charles. Get with the program.
They're hostage tapes.
I mean, the only thing you don't see, the only thing you don't have him is blindfolded.
You're being very unkind to your very good friend.
He's going in.
Highly respected journalist.
I'm not the one who's blowing him out of the anchor seat at CBS News. Hello? This is outrageous. This is outrage.
Now, do you know whom I saw yesterday? Here at NBC? In our very bureau?
Tom Brokaw?
No.
Elvis?
No.
Oh.
Dan Rather.
Oh, Talk about melancholy.
Dan Rather.
Dan Rather.
What the hell was he doing there?
He was in to record a Chris Matthews show for Sunday morning.
Security. Oh, man, that is disturbing.
9th floor, please.
All right.
Start.
Well, take care of yourself. Thanks for that fine report.
Well, thank you. You too.
Andrew Mitchell?
Yes.
The chief foreign affairs correspondent for NBC News. Tom Brokaw is coming up. We'll talk to him. Then later on this morning, guy who knows as much about the Mideast as anybody on the planet, Tom Friedman. It's 24 minutes after the hour. We may hear from Fred or we may not. It's just, we promoted Fred on Monday, he never called.
You never know.
America's holding its breath.
Yeah, to hear from Fred. 24 after the hour.
Hey, Imus in the morning.
Well, now you can save on all the environmentally friendly greening to cleaning products, the window cleaner and all-purpose cleaner. It's available nationwide, but it's also available at all 500 Vitamin World stores, nearly 500 stores, along with all of the delicious Imus Ranch food products. Great prices on all the Imus Green and Clean stuff, Ranch food products. And when you buy one, you get the second half for half price. How about that? Only at Vitamin World. Plus, Vitamin World, proud to be the only retailer that gives 100% of the after-tax profits to the Imus Cattle Ranch for kids with cancer. You'll find great products on all Imus Ranch food products. You'll find great products like the Citrus Sage All-Purpose Cleaner, a naturally derived cleaner that deodorizes as it cleans and is completely 100% totally non-toxic. And all of the ingredients are listed on the label. No harmful fumes, dangerous chemicals. And Vitamin World has a complete line of delicious Imus Ranch food products that serve to the kids here at the ranch. USDA certified organic ranch dressings that are delicious. There's enough dairy in the Caesar and ranch dressing to make them taste great. 100% natural Imus Ranch salsa, thick and chunky, and won't slip off the turquoise buffalo tortilla chip. No artificial ingredients, preservatives, or trans fats, by the way. Go to vitaminworld.com to find the Vitamin World store near you. Vitamin World, your number one vitamin source. So I'm taking that Neuro PS vitamin from Vitamin World, Charles.
Yeah.
So you don't forget who was on the program that morning.
That's it.
With over 470 stores nationwide carrying a full line of Imus Green and Cleaning and Ranch food products, Vitamin World. When you pick up the Sunday New York Times on Saturday evening, you'll be the first to know about the new developments and trends, smart investments, great travel deals. You get a head start on things that'll help you make the most of your home, your career, your free time, and your life. This Sunday in the New York Times Magazine, take an in-depth look at the state of nuclear energy and see if you think it's an answer to global warming. And consider whether close friendships are becoming passé in the MySpace.com era. Much of stuff on arts and leisure. See why Dick Wolf, the coming television season, is a case of law and reorder for him. In the travel direction, visit design-conscious Helsinki, and colorful Johannesburg. You'll also find out about a summer art show in London. The Sunday New York Times on Saturday night, Manhattan, Starbucks. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it sounds typical for a software company, but we started in the garage. Actually, the servers were in the garage, and I was in the kitchen drinking lots of coffee.
Chris Johnson, founder and CEO, Priasoft.
I wanted to build something, and I found a $700 million email market. But unfortunately, dreams don't pay the overhead. American Express saw the opportunity I saw and really helped make sure my humble beginnings didn't last forever.
Being open-minded is how small business owners approach their business and how American Express serves them. Open to giving Chris the financing he needed 2 years before his bank would. To see how American Express can help your small business, visit open.com or call 1-800-NOW-OPEN.
How did other owners build their businesses? Ask Bobby Brown and Kate Mandy Spade at Making a Name for Yourself, an interactive webcast created by Open from American Express, July 27th, 7:30 p.m. Register for free at openforumonline.com.
Don't Don't miss the final days of Sleepy's incredible half-price Beauty Rest mattress sale. That's right. It's your last chance to get select Beauty Rest sets for half the regular price. That's half off the world-famous Beauty Rest mattress from the largest mattress company in America, Simmons and Sleepy's. If you need a new mattress, now is the time to buy. Plus, get exceptional values every day, like Simmons sets starting at $199 and Beauty Rest starting at just $399. Sleepy's even lets you finance your purchase for up to 3 full years interest-free. So hurry in for details. The one in Sleepy's 400 convenient showrooms during Sleepy's half-price Simmons Beauty Rest sale and get the mattress you've always wanted at a price you've only dreamed of. It's the final days of Sleepy's half-price Beauty Rest mattress sale. 4 locations. Call 1-800-SLEEPYS only at Sleepy's, the mattress professionals. 29 after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. We're going to talk to Tom Brokaw in a few minutes, and then coming up later, Tom Friedman, Omar Minaya, the general manager of the New York Mets, who are in first place in the National League.
That's right, sweetheart.
Best record in the National League.
Lo mismo.
And just ahead of Joe Benigno in sports, here with some thoughts on whatever, is the general manager of the Mets, Omar Minaya. Good morning, Mr. Minaya.
Good morning, bro. Hello, kiddies. What you gonna do when your guts are churning? The situation in Iraq is worse than ever. Israel's declared war on Palestine. The crazy gook got the nukes, but the Mets are in first place. Hey, Georgie Steinbrenner, coma means BBDs. Eat my church, you pendejo. Oh, yeah, the Yankees are a dynasty, all right. That must be why they're all playing like Joan Collins. Remember last year when I said the Mets were going to bring it? Well, what happened? The Amazes kicking some culo, baby. I don't care who's on first, what's on second, so long as David Wright is on third. And if he can just keep his nose clean, you know, he doesn't try to snort the first baseline or get caught singing show tunes with some transvestite hooker, then we're going to be drinking some Cristal come October, Chico. Dave is my great white hope, bro. Literally, because I'm getting a lot of heat for running a team that looks like the kitchen staff at Taco Bell. But, I mean, let's face it, there's not a lot of Caucasians named Chad in baseball, you know, besides the one I got pitching for me every once in a while. But Dave is the only other one I got on the infield, except for Paulo Duca, but he's not even regulation white. He looks like he just stepped out of the back room of the Bada Bing. I think before he hit the majors, the only time he ever used a baseball bat was to break somebody's kneecaps when they was late with the VIG. Well, gringos will know I'm running out of pitchers here. But I'm so inspired watching Roger Clemens come back that I'm actually thinking of calling Tom Seaver to see if he wants to come out of retirement, too. Put him back on the mound, kills 2 birds with 1 stone. I beef up the bullpen and add another cracker to the lineup. Besides, what's he got going for himself these days, other than selling autographed baseballs on eBay? Get old Tommy Boy out of the mothballs, stick a needle full of HGH in his butt cheek, because like it won't matter to him if his nugget pouch looks like a vanilla raisinette. I'm telling you, they should ease up on Barry Bonds, because the juice is the best thing to ever hit baseball. With a little Winstrol or Nendrolone shot in the culo, every day could be Old-Timers Day. If Steven works out, I put Yogi back behind the plate. I get Pete Rose on second. I stick Say Hey Willie in center. And in left field, the frozen head of Ted Williams. Tell me you're not going to buy a ticket to see that, huh? You know, I renamed my penis, too. Oh, I call it John Donald. Because you're the biggest brick I know.
That's great, Omar. Thank you very much. Time for a little sports now. Quickly here, Joe. Sponsored by Peerless Boilers, America's best boiler. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. How are you? You know, I had a little problem with the producer, Tom Bowman, and I just wanted to make sure that we're okay now. So because Tom could not see me earlier,
right.
Because I guess I had my microphone in the way, so I wanted to make sure that we're all cool now with Tom and there's no problem. But I mentioned to him that I strategically had the microphone in my face because, you know, I have a face for radio, not for television, so I'm trying to keep some viewers here. You know what I mean?
This great personal response to Tom in lieu of a sports report is frankly disturbing, Joe.
Well, I felt I had to because he called me,
Why don't you just call him in the newsroom?
Well, I didn't know that he called me because I didn't realize there was a problem.
But why don't you go out in the newsroom and call him on a telephone and have this discussion with him? And instead of that, tell us who won the games and who lost them.
All right. Well, the Mets and Yankees did not lose last night because both of them, neither of them played. As far as who won games, I'll give you the winners right now. The Tigers, the Rangers, the Indians, the A's, the Astros, the Reds, and the Cardinals. How's that?
Who'd they play?
Oh, do we want to know that too?
See if you can get a bigger shadow over your face. Could you please?
Yeah, that's an attractive shot now.
Omar, you're doing a nice job, but let's not get too carried away here, all right?
Oh, put a circle
Slow
around
down
the
a
head.
little bit. Slow down a little bit, Omar. All right, here's who lost. The Royals, the Orioles, the Twins, the Red Sox, the Marlins, the Rockies, and the Dodgers. How's that?
And you.
And
It's
me.
34 after the hour.
1, 2, 3. Imus in the morning.
Two shots and I'm on the green. Yeah, par 5 and he's on the green in 2. On what planet? 6 is more like it. That's my dad. I hook just like him. I slice just like him. He taught me every bad habit there is.
At Hackensack University Medical Center, we know that there are times you may not want to follow in your father's footsteps. And while we can't do anything about family history when it comes to golf, we can do a lot about family history when it comes to cancer. So Hackensack University Medical Center is on the leading edge of cancer prevention, especially among high-risk people. What's more, with over 100 clinical trials a year and one of the largest stem cell transplant programs in the country, we can promise tomorrow's breakthroughs today. It's that kind of science plus unparalleled service and fiscal responsibility that makes us one of the leading cancer care providers in the country. Hackensack University Medical Center. When you feel good, we feel good.
What would you say if we told you your business didn't have to pay more for voice and internet service just because it's a business?
I'd say I'll take it, but what's the catch?
No catch. With Optimum Online, you'll get speeds up to 5 times faster than DSL, award-winning reliability, and 24/7 customer service, all at the same low price you'd pay at home.
Yeah, right. And then you tack on the fees.
There are no hidden fees with Optimum Voice for Business. You pay one low, flat monthly rate for unlimited calling in the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico with no contracts.
You're telling me I don't have to pay extra for all that stuff just because I own a business? That's real.
It is real, and our 30-day guarantee proves it. So call 1-866-664-FAST or visit Optimum.com to join the thousands of metro area customers who are enjoying up to 60% savings right now. It's Optimum or it's not. See Optimum.com for details. Speed based on Optimum Online, running at 15 Mbps and DSL running at 3 Mbps.
What is it, Bob?
You can take this
Yeah,
job.
take this job and shove it. So you're quitting, huh?
Yep.
I bet you're going to start your own business.
Right.
What do you know about starting a business? You're going to buy a business, start from scratch? How about startup money?
Well-
You even know where to get startup money?
Yeah, my brother.
Got a business plan? Can't raise money to start a business without a business plan.
I can't?
You're pathetic. You need Bruce Berman's book. It's called I Got Here, You Can Too. A master's course in becoming a millionaire. Want to be a millionaire, Bob?
That's the idea.
Then you got to buy his book. It shows exactly how Berman made a fortune in business and how you can too. Want a profitable business, Bob?
Uh-huh, sure. Thanks, Bob. This is Bruce Berman. If you want to make $5,000, $10,000, even $15,000 a month right now from the comfort of your own home, then you don't have to buy my book. I will give you a free copy of my book and my Making Money CD. That's over $100 value. This limited time free offer is available only on my website, 3bruce.com. That's number 3, bruce.com. That's the number 3, bruce.com. You could be making money within 30 days, guaranteed. So log on to 3bruce.com now.
Yeah, my truck doesn't have coverage, but if my boat hit it, will my boat policy pay for the damage to my truck?
That's a real question that was put to the licensed insurance experts at Progressive Direct. When you call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, we'll answer your question.
Will I get a discount if I insure both my cars with you?
In fact, you will. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Progressive Direct Insurance Company and its affiliates, Mayfield Village, Ohio. Available in most states and situations.
Tramposity presents The Roaming Gnome, denouncer of travel myths. Myth number 1. Cruises are too darn pricey.
Welcome. With Travelocity, you'll get gobs of shipboard credits or other perky perks.
Myth 2. Do not bring your own tunes to the cruise dance floor.
What? It's a classic.
Cruise bonus days.
The Syrians have kind of gone to ground at this point. The Jordanians, who've been, I think, noble in their efforts to try to bring peace to that part of the world, find themselves much more under the thumb of Hezbollah, which now has an elected government sponsor, in effect, in Hamas, which will not crack down on it. So we can't, this is a very serious situation, and the United States finds itself in a pretty isolated position now in terms of not getting any help. Everybody kind of turning their backs on it. And we've got a war underway in Iraq and a deteriorating situation in Afghanistan, so stakes are big here.
Well, if it's
one of the things that Tom talked about yesterday, I thought quite persuasively, was politics of oil. He was doing a panel on energy, and we don't have a whole lot of leverage because in most places we still are lined up at the pump, so to speak. And as far
anyone. The Saudis are retreated behind their own barricades. Iran is a huge force in that part of the world. I was there a year ago, and they were, I think, very happy about the chaos in Iraq. Most of the Shiite leaders who are in Iraq had spent time in exile in Iran, and they think of that as kind of an annex now of what they've got going.
Well, as Tom observes in his column this morning, when you only have America and Great Britain promoting democracy in these various areas, specifically Iraq, the rest of Europe sitting on the fence, and I just don't, I just don't ever, and I know a bunch of other people who don't either, I don't ever see any end to this. Any, ever.
I must say, Don, I don't either. I've spent a lot of time in that part of the world, and I remember driving before the war in Iraq from Amman all the way to Baghdad across that inky night in the desert, and looking out there and seeing just small signs of villages and thinking, oh my God, how do we ever get this resolved? And this is a significant setback, obviously, and it's not that we were exactly on track toward any kind of resolution in the first place. We used to think that maybe generationally it would change as new generations came online, but I don't see much evidence of that either, because rising young generations of Muslims are in the thrall of the mullahs and the madrasas who teach them the only way to be an honorable Muslim is to join jihad against the West. And and within Israel, there are a lot of people who would like to have peace, but at the same time that they feel understandably compelled to defend their nation, defend their faith.
Talking with Tom Brokaw, NBC News. Where are you this morning again?
I'm in Sun Valley.
What's going on there?
It's the Allen and Company Conference, which goes on here every year, which, they bring together people today. Right. Warren Buffett will be talking about philanthropy, and yesterday Tom Friedman did a wonderful panel on energy and the uses of it and how we begin to wean ourselves off the addiction to oil. I did a panel on Central and South America, which is a part of the world that is getting enough attention. And then on Sunday night, I'm going to be on the Discovery Channel with 2 hours on global warming, so I'm keeping busy.
Do you still get treated with the kissy face treatment you used to get when you were, when you were the man? And do you still get the limos and all that, or what?
Things work out okay. People are pretty generous. This is a passage in my life and in the life of NBC, and it's all working out very well. I'm keeping busy and active in the areas that I like. I've just finished up a documentary on the black underclass in Jackson, Mississippi, and we're working on one right now on illegal immigration in Colorado, using that as a snapshot, if you will.
But do the people still creep around quaking in fear as they used to do when you would stride through the halls there at 30 Rock?
At NBC. No, they don't. They point me out to interns and say, he used to work here.
Right.
We've got supplemental oxygen in the hallways for him now, and we have soft food section in the cafeteria for him.
So I don't know if you're in front of a television or not, but
I was watching, right.
Right. As you know, on September 5th, Katie Couric will take over the CBS Evening News.
Right.
And our old friend Bob Schieffer is, being shoved overboard, frankly.
Yeah, I know. You continue with that. I think, I'm very close to Bob. We've been great friends since, there he is in his bobbleheaded. We've been great friends since our days as White House correspondents together, and he's been heroic at CBS. He was always, in the judgment of his colleagues there and his competitors across the street, one of the finest correspondents they have, and I think he demonstrated that in the last year.
Sure.
He stepped in there, and under difficult circumstances, the ratings increased.
Picked up 1 million viewers.
Restored morale.
Now he's going in to drink, and I have 2 little ducks sitting here that I've named. By the way, Tom and Meredith, in honor of you and your, by the way, still beautiful wife, man. Had her on a while back?
Yeah, she was very grateful to you. Oh, there they are. She was grateful to you for what you did for Big Sky Cooking.
That's Tom and Meredith.
It's a big hit. It's in its 4th printing, I think, at this point. Sold out in a lot of bookstores across the West, so she's having a lot of fun with it.
It's a great book. Now, my wife was the one that turned me on to it. And don't, Randall, what'd you just touch the ducks for? Don't touch the ducks. The ducks are huddling together. One of the goofy cameramen here, Randall just manipulated my ducks. The ducks were huddling together, Charles, and you saw them.
Yes, I did.
Pleading with their little eyes for me not to kick poor old Schieffer in the drink with the Justin boot. But he's going in on August 25th. That's our last day broadcasting here at the ranch. We'll still have kids until September, but so. Well, Sunday night on the Discovery Channel, I just don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm starting to tear up here. Sunday night on the Discovery Channel at 9 p.m., you mentioned Global Warning. That's a 2-hour special?
It is. It's the BBC, NBC, and Discovery in a joint enterprise. We've been doing more work for them. They're on television now. I'm at Glacier National Park, where there's been a sharp reduction in the glaciers. And what we do is just deal with the science of it for 2 hours. The consensus view now within the scientific community dedicated to these areas, climatologists, geologists, kind of thing, about what's going on.
And then on Sunday, July 23rd at 7 p.m. on NBC, the Tom Brokaw Report, Separate and Unequal. What's that about?
Well, when Katrina happened and the exposure that we saw to poor black people in New Orleans, I think within this country and certainly abroad, people said, my God, how can that happen in America, that you can have a population like that? So we kind of looked around the country and decided that we would go to Jackson, Mississippi, and try to document from the point of view of the people who live in those neighborhoods and the people who have gotten out of their neighborhoods about what's still going on now and what possibly can be done about it. Jackson, when you and I were young men, was the epicenter of racism in America. That's the black mayor now, Frank Milton, that you see on the screen. There's a black newspaper editor, a black police chief. We go to the old traditional black neighborhood where a lot of people got out, and now they're the lawyers in town and doctors, and they've gone on to other success stories. But in the old black neighborhood, conditions are worse than they used to be. So Lanier High School was the pride and joy of that community, and now it's struggling because the unintended consequences of desegregation is that those who could get out did. White folks didn't move into those neighborhoods. There's no integration at Lanier High School, and young women are having too many babies, too many fathers are missing from too many homes, and no one knows quite what to do.
Let me, in conclusion, be serious here for a moment. You sound great, and you look great, and it's just not the same. I mean, Charles and I were talking about it last night. I call him every night to talk about the kids and stuff, and it's just not the same, Tom.
Well, that's very generous of you. Brian's doing a great job. We've got people. Richard,
He is doing a great job.
He's not you.
Yes.
Pale imitation of you.
But come on.
He's not doing a great job.
He's doing fine.
Katie's going to kill him, by the way.
It's not going to happen.
No. Listen, I tell you what's going to happen in the fall. It's going to be good for everybody because there will be a reignition of interest in the evening news, and that's good for everyone. And as I said,
what's going to happen in the fall. You're going to get a phone call. That's what's going to happen in the fall. Have fun in Sun Valley and say hi to Tom. Well, we're going to talk to Tom in an hour, so.
I'm Phil Rizzuto and Yogi Berra. I just come out and wave a little bit and then go back into the dugout.
Baby, thank you. The great Tom Brokaw here on the Imus-7 program. 9 minutes till the hour.
Imus in the morning.
Once upon a time, there was a front porch swing. The swing was lonely as it swayed in the breeze. But then one day, a young man came by and dropped off a book. The porch swing was startled. The new AT&T Yellow Pages? Could this be his old friend? The local SBC Yellow Pages with a new name and new cover? The porch swing carefully looked down at the book. It was his old friend. The swing was overjoyed. And the people came home and took the book inside. But the point is, the SBC Yellow Pages is now the AT&T Yellow Pages, and it's coming to your door. And with more ads and up-to-date listings, no other book is more complete. The same great book, delivered. Need something online? Search for it at yellowpages.com. The new AT&T. Your world delivered.
The New York SBC Yellow Pages is now the AT&T Yellow Pages, and it's coming to your door with more ads and up-to-date listings. No other book is more complete.
This country is filled with millionaires living the good life. And you know what? Those millionaires are just like you. Hi, this is Dolph DeRoos, and I should know, without a single penny, I bought my first property at the age of only 17. Since then, I've become a real estate millionaire living the good life. I want to share my secrets with as many people as possible, so I've put together a powerful tape giving you the basics, and I'm giving it away. That's right, it's free. All you have to do to get it is call 1-800-500-6612. Once you listen, you'll see that you're no different from all those real estate millionaires. It's absolutely true. Even if you don't own a home, you still have what it takes to become rich, very rich. And I'm going to prove it to you. Just pick up the phone and ask for my free tape. Call 1-800-500-6612. Look, this country is filled with millionaires living the good life. Become one of them. Call 1-800-500-6612. 1-800-500-6612.
Going away to college is a big step, so now is the time to get your kids off on the right foot with a one-stop shop at IKEA. From lamps to storage, linens to small space furniture solutions, everything you need is under one roof at great prices. And right now, IKEA is offering a wide variety of special dorm-ready values. Illuminate college life with our modern adjustable tertial book lamp, just $8.99. The Amado rocking chair is a perfect study perch, only $19.99. And avoid short sheeting with our cozy Sandy twin extra long sheet set, just $29.99. So get started with the college checklist at IKEA-USA.com. And then come to IKEA today to get everything you need. It's the smartest back to college one-stop shop a parent could ever make. And it's only at IKEA.
Visit IKEA in Paramus, Elizabeth, and Hicksville while supplies last. See IKEA.com for details. Some products require assembly.
If you're sick and tired of watching your eyes get weaker and weaker every year, and you're ready to do something about your poor vision, repeat after me. I will take a stand against my weak eyesight.
I won't use my glasses as a crutch.
I will start strengthening my eyes naturally.
I will refuse the high cost of surgery.
And I will no longer accept stronger prescriptions year after year.
I will take control of my vision.
Take a stand against poor vision. Call right now for a free video to find out how you can strengthen your eyesight using the safe, natural solution. It's called the See Clearly method. It's recommended by eye doctors and available without a prescription. Pick up the phone and we'll send you a free video to see this program for yourself. You deserve stronger eyes. Take a stand. Call right now for your free video to preview the See Clearly method. Call 1-800-700-4090. That's 1-800-700-4090. 1-800-700-4090.
With the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Organ transplants save lives, but only if you help donate life. Be an organ and tissue donor. Learn more at 866-99-DONATE or organdonor.gov. 5 to 10 minute delays at the George Washington Bridge, the Holland Tunnel 2, about 30 minutes at the Lincoln. The Imus in the morning forecast. Sunshine, high temperature around 90 degrees. Currently 71 degrees in Fair and Central Park. I'm Rear End Rhonda with the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
Announcing the Subaru All-Wheel Deal Model Year Clearance. There's never been a better time to buy the all-wheel drive Subaru Legacy and Impreza. Now get an amazing lease on the 2006 Impreza 2.5i 5-speed for just $169 per month for 48 months. The Legacy is the safest car in its class, and the Impreza is only the second small car ever to receive an IIHS Top Safety Pick Gold rating. Both come with road-gripping Subaru all-wheel drive standard. Safety made affordable. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Hurry into the all-wheel deal model year clearance, because with these kinds of deals, supplies won't last.
Lease the 2006 Impreza 2.5i 5-speed for $169 per month for 48 months with $12.94 due at signing. IIHS rating based on 40-mile-per-hour frontal crash test, 31-mile-per-hour side impact test, and 20-mile-per-hour rear impact test. Tax, title, and registration fees extra. Lessee pays taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs not covered by warranty, excessive wear and tear, and a mileage charge of 15 cents per mile for mileage over 10,000 miles. Take delivery from dealer stock by 7/30/106. Dealer participation required. Call 1-800-WANT-AWD.
Hi, I'm David Orrick. 40 million Americans suffer from allergies, 17 million from asthma, 37 million from sinus infections. Here's the thought: change the air you breathe. An Orrick Professional Air Purifier completely renews the air in an average-sized room every 10 minutes. Try it free for 90 days. Call 1-800-989-4200. That's 1-800-989-4200.
It's the summer of fun on Big Brother, and all your favorite house guests are back.
Oh, it's gonna be ugly.
They know how to play the game better than anyone.
Nobody breaks me down.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. I am lion, hear me roar. But we've got new twists they'll never see coming. What?
You cannot be 100% honest in this game.
Next
Stop. Elimination. Good.
Join Ken hosts a new Big Brother All-Stars, Sunday, only on CBS.
Nuclear power could help combat global warming. It could lessen our dependence on air-polluting fossil fuels. It's even making greater political and economic sense. But will it ever be not scary? Find out. Don't miss the nuclear option, the cover story of this Sunday's New York Times Magazine. Also in Sunday's Magazine, meet Floyd Landis, the cyclist who is contending in this year's Tour de France despite a busted hip. Consider whether close friendships are becoming passé in the MySpace.com era. Sit in on a conversation with Jane Goodall. Take a look at new maximalist and minimalist fashions for women and ponder some of the moral dilemmas of everyday life in Randy Cohen's Ethicist column. The New York Times Magazine, it's not just a magazine, it's the magazine. Pick up your copy of the Sunday Times at a store or newsstand near you. You can even get it on Saturday evenings at participating retailers, including many area Starbucks.
What if I told you I could make your acne disappear and leave you with beautiful, healthy-looking skin? With all the acne promises out there, you're skeptical. So I'm going to prove it to you by sending you a risk-free 60-day trial of a remarkable product called Proactive Solution. Proactive was developed by dermatologists for you to use at home without spending hundreds of dollars on doctor visits. Call 1-800-335-4191 to find out how you can get a risk-free trial. Proactive combines prescription-grade acne medicine with soothing spa-quality botanicals to create a powerful acne-fighting system. Eliminate bumps and redness and prevent future outbreaks. It's a safe and simple product that will heal, hydrate, and soothe your skin while preventing breakouts. With over 7 million customers, Proactive is the best-selling acne system in America. To get your risk-free 60-day trial of Proactive Solution, just call 1-800-335-4191 and you'll become a believer. I know you have beautiful skin under your acne. Let Proactive prove it. Call 1-800-335-4191 for your risk-free trial. 1-800-335-4191.
This is the Imus in the Morning radio program on WFAN New York and streaming on WFAN.com. It is 8 o'clock Eastern Time for the latest information regarding the situation in the Middle East. President George Bush promising Lebanon's leader today that he would urge Israel to avoid civilian casualties and damage as it steps up attacks on its neighbor. However, Mr. Bush's promise to the Lebanese Prime Minister fell short of the Lebanese leader's request for pressure for a ceasefire. According to an account from the Prime Minister's office, the president has now reached St. Petersburg, Russia, scheduled to meet there for the annual Group of Eight summit. But before he left, Lebanon's Prime Minister did get this telephone call. Israel, meantime, maintaining its offensive, fighter jets targeting the Beirut airport for a second straight day, hitting other targets as well, residential buildings among them. 3 people dead overnight. Israel continuing its retaliation for the cross-border attack by Hezbollah on Wednesday of this week, in which guerrillas killed 8 Israeli soldiers and kidnapped 2. The Beirut attacks in retaliation for scores of Hezbollah guerrilla rockets that continue to rain down on Israel. In fact, latest information, guerrillas have fired 17 more rockets into northern Israel today. Yesterday, a couple of them reached as far as Haifa, Israel's third largest city. Jonah Yahaf, the mayor there, says his residents are defiant.
The only request we have passed forward is that the people should stay at home, but nothing else. And even there is a big open-air concert next to the sea, and we didn't stop it.
Israel's interior minister says the Lebanese have to understand that until the day Israelis in border towns can live peacefully, as he put it, nobody is going to live peacefully in Lebanon either. And some 220,000 Israelis have been spending recent hours in bomb shelters. The Bush administration has shifted into crisis mode as it attempts to stop the Middle East bloodshed. Officials working the phones, couple of fronts, leaning on America's Arab allies to try to get guerrillas to stop the rocket attacks and to free the 2 captive soldiers, while also urging the Israelis to demonstrate restraint. Secretary of State Rice says the Middle East will likely be the primary topic at this weekend's summit in Russia.
You know how the G8 is. When there's a major issue like this, it tends to be taken up at the G8, and it would be unthinkable that these leaders are going to get together and not discuss what is going on there.
However, the violence has exposed divisions as well, with U.S. allies criticizing Israel for what they call overreaction. Mr. Bush has not done that. And an explosion near a Sunni mosque in northern Baghdad.
Oh, man.
Yeah?
You know what I had to do?
What?
I had to go jump in a truck, run up to the hacienda, and get a pair of headphones, because of these two lunatics I have in the studio.
Who are they?
My wife and my son.
What's the problem?
Oh, my God. Anyway, what were you saying?
I was saying we will have more coming up. 3 minutes after the hour.
The news is sponsored by Newsday. Read Newsday every day.
Good morning, Long Island. Read these stories today only in Newsday. Can you drink the water? Only in Newsday, inside the lab that keeps tabs on water safety. 11 cool things to do this weekend, from a barbecue cook-off to a tropical luau. And in the wheels section, your entry to Newsday's gas card giveaway. For news and information you can't find anywhere else, read Newsday every day.
Newsday every day. Newsday every day.
Did you know Waldbaum's is joining Newsday's Purple Pack next week?
So now you'll be getting supermarket circulars from King Cullen, Best Jet, Uncle Giuseppe's, and Waldbaum's.
Newsday subscribers get your Purple Pack circulars every Thursday, right next to the comics.
Don't subscribe to Newsday yet? Get your circulars in your mailbox in an easy-to-find sealed purple pack.
Newsday's Purple Pack, now including Waldbaum's.
It's one more way Newsday helps you save money every day.
Newsday every day. Newsday every day.
There's only one way to experience summer. Fairmont Hotels and Resorts. Discover how Fairmont brings you the destination like no one else. Visit Fairmont.com for details.
When your car needs an oil change, the best way is Expressway. It's the best expert oil change that's worth more than you pay. At Expressway, drive to center stop. There's no appointment, no delay. For a convenient expert oil change, the best way is Expressway. For a convenient expert oil change, the best way is Expressway.
When you spend $20,000, $30,000, or $40,000 on a new car, you want it to last. And that's why you should use Expressway Lube Centers. Every Expressway oil, lube, and filter change is 100% manufacturer warranty approved. And Expressway uses quality Castrol motor oils for maximum engine protection against sludge buildup. So remember to bring your car to an Expressway Lube Center every 3,000 to 4,000 miles for a 100% manufacturer warranty approved oil change.
For a convenient expert oil change, the best way is Expressway.
Expressway. Long live your car.
5 minutes after the hour, here in the Imus Morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. Boy, Brokaw did sound good, didn't he?
Sure did. You bet.
Well, he'll get that call. Not going into that fall sweep period. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Tom Friedman's coming up. We'll talk to him. He's got a column this morning on the op-ed page of the New York Times entitled The Kidnapping of Democracy, which is an interesting, and boy, I bet 100% accurate take on what's going on, don't you think?
Well, it certainly is an enormous element in all of this. You know it is.
And Omar Minaya, general manager of the New York Mets, is on with us this morning, and always nice to see you, Mr. Minaya.
Good to see you, bro. Tell Joe Benigno that the bus depot called.
Yeah.
His room is ready.
Okay. And Joe Benigno in for Chris Carlin, who's doing sports, who is on his way to Northern California for a wedding, and apparently he flew over northern New Mexico last night because,
how could you tell?
Well, about 3 o'clock this morning,
yeah,
there was a lunar eclipse. So, passing from the, well, you know what I'm saying.
What else could it be?
Okay, well, please welcome now to the Imus and Wayne program my wife, Deirdre Imus, and my son, Wyatt Imus. Both of who...
Good morning.
Both of who are home, Charles?
Both of whom?
What?
Both of whom are fighting over the headphones.
No, first of all, why don't you have two sets of nice headphones down here if you want both of us on?
Because neither one of them wants to take off their cowboy hat for whatever reason.
Well, why should we?
Let's start off with this.
What?
It's 7 minutes after 6 a.m.
Right.
Here in New Mexico. What kind of mood are you in today?
Well, I'm sure I'm in a better mood than you.
Amen.
Well, amen what?
You couldn't,
I know.
You couldn't help but be in a better mood than your husband.
Whatever mood I'm ever in, I'm always in a much better mood than you are.
You got it, Blondie.
We're going to go
Thank you, Charles.
How are you this morning, Wyatt?
Good.
Okay, how's little Virgil, our little dog?
Virgil's just fine. Wyatt is worse than I am, though, because he had the other headphones, and I always get these headphones.
Right.
And he refused to take the hat off.
Why don't you want to take your hat off? Are roots starting to turn on you or what?
What about your roots?
My roots are fine.
Oh, really?
I don't do anything to my hair.
Uh-huh.
Well, why are you here? Did you bring the kids down?
The kids are right here. Most of the kids came down. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm here to discuss the combating autism bill.
Oh, great.
Again.
Okay, we're all waiting for that, right, Chuck?
There the kids are.
I think Chris Dodd was definitely misled, saying that he knew for sure he'd be disappointed if that vaccine language wasn't in there. He knew it wasn't in there. Who's he kidding?
Well, you're not suggesting that Senator Dodd would lie.
No, but I mean, how do you not know that when we knew that and know that? So.
Call security.
So we need to still work on that.
You keep her talking.
Keep her talking, and
I'll just reach for the phone. I'll call them.
Well, it's $1 billion bill, you know. Let's see some of the money up front, not 5-6 years from now.
Okay. That's great. Well,
what?
Well,
I'm just calling it like it is.
Okay, that's fine. We're happy that you're doing that. So good for you. What's coming up today here at the ranch?
Well, we're going to take the kids on a trail ride this morning. Remember, they did pretty well in the arena yesterday.
Right.
So, these kids are great.
Most of them do.
Most of them are doing very well.
We have the big rodeo coming up Tuesday, right?
Some of them, it's going to be Wyatt did the shows on me, what they have to do, and they all stood there and watched Wyatt practice, down the arena to show them what's going to happen in the competition.
Right.
Every single kid, we're like, okay, you ready to do that? They're like, no, I can't do that.
But
they will be able to do that.
What you think, Wyatt?
Yes. Yeah. Wyatt's trying to make the dog growl at you.
Why are we limiting our responses, Wyatt, to one-word answers?
Yes. Wyatt,
don't make the dog bark, Wyatt.
He's kidding. He now does, like Shania when he goes, skip, skip. Virgil will do the same thing now.
Let's go to Martin Fletcher standing by on camera from northern Israel where that part of the world is blowing up. Is that an accurate description, Martin?
Don, it's very accurate, unfortunately. The Israelis have been pounding South Lebanon overnight. The big Israeli artillery guns here have fallen silent for the time being, but warplanes were hitting targets in Lebanon overnight. They attacked the Beirut International Airport for the third time. It's out of commission altogether, setting fuel tanks ablaze. They struck the highway from Damascus to Beirut. Refugees have been fleeing Beirut after Israelis warned them, saying, if you live near the homes of Hezbollah leaders, leave town, leave your homes immediately because they're going to be under attack. And that's what happened last night. The Israelis targeted the officers, the buildings, and also the homes of Hezbollah leaders. And at the same time, Hezbollah's militants retaliated by firing volleys of Katyusha rockets inside Israel, in particular at the coastal town of Nahariya, where about 17 Israelis are wounded. And my crew and I, Don, as a matter of fact, had a narrow escape just a few minutes ago. I was with my two producers, Kevin Monahan and Amikam Cohen. We were driving down the main streets of Nahariya, right in front of us, I would say 5 seconds away. A Katyusha rocket landed. It hit the ground in front of us, exploded with a big red flash of flame, smoke, hit a tree. Part of the tree came down. I think we came about as close as you can come to actually not getting hit. And I think we got a taste of what it's like for Israelis to be under attack. They're in the bomb shelters. And let's not forget for a moment that although 2 Israelis have been killed and about 50 wounded, on the other side of the border in Lebanon, more than 50 Lebanese have been killed and several hundred wounded by the Israeli warplane. So there's a terror on both sides of the border. Both sides are responding to appeals for a ceasefire by saying no way. Israel's determined this time, they say, to destroy Hezbollah. Israel's been under attack, under the threat of 13,000 rockets that Hezbollah have stored on the Lebanese side of the border facing Israel. Every so often has been attacked. And Israel's goal now is clear. It's not only to get back the 2 soldiers who were kidnapped 3 days ago or to take revenge for the 8 soldiers that were killed. It's to destroy Hezbollah and to kill its leaders. That's what the Israeli government said in the last 24 hours, Don.
Martin, these questions you may not be able to answer, but I'll ask them anyway. One, what do we think is going to happen? 2, how bad is this going to get? And what are the various potential scenarios that you can draw for us, if any?
Well, look, let's start with the worst scenario. The Palestinian President Abu Mazen has said this could turn into a regional war. That's the worst scenario. Personally, I'd say not a chance. Nobody wants it. It's a battle between Israel and these militants, Hezbollah, who've been threatening Israel for the last several years. Don't forget, Israel pulled out of South Lebanon in the year 2000. They're not there. They're not occupying anything. This is a battle between the Islamic militants of Hezbollah and Israel. Now, how far will it go? Well, to the end. Well, what does that mean? Israel says they will this time not stop until they've destroyed Hezbollah. So the question becomes, will anybody help Hezbollah? Its backers are clearly Syria and Iran. The Lebanese government is embarrassed by this. They're the pawn in the middle, if you like. They're suffering now from Israel's retaliation, but they don't want Hezbollah to attack Israel. However, Syria and Iran do want Hezbollah to attack Israel. So the question is, will those two states somehow be drawn into this? Will Israel retaliate directly against them? I'd say most unlikely. Israel's pressure is all on Lebanese government, hoping that they, through Israel's attacks, will put enough pressure on the Lebanese government that they will do the job and rein in Hezbollah. But, Don, it's not going to happen quickly. And the Israelis are saying, this could take weeks. And this morning we were talking to Israelis in the bomb shelters who were hiding from those Katyusha rockets. And they unanimously said, we are not in a hurry, we're afraid, but we don't want the government to stop until they've destroyed Hezbollah. So there's a great feeling in Israel that this will continue weeks, maybe longer, maybe months, until they've destroyed Hezbollah. That's what the government says. Of course, bear one thing in mind. A few years ago, Israel had launched a similar attack against Hezbollah in South Lebanon, and they were destroying the organization. And what happened? A stray shell hit 100 Lebanese civilians and killed them. Of course, then the pressure grew on Israel to stop, and Israel stopped immediately. So that's, I guess, what could happen this time too. One stray shell by Israel that hits a school, kills loads of children, and then the support that Israel has found from U.S. President Bush so far, well, that support may evaporate very quickly if a lot of Lebanese civilians get killed in some tragedy like that. But until that happens, Israel's determined to go all the way and for as long as it takes to destroy Hezbollah. And I guess that's what may happen. But of course, Hezbollah's got other ideas. They've got 13,000 rockets, some with a range of as far as 100 miles, that could strike into the heart of Israel, areas of Israel that have never been struck before by rockets. That is a real possibility. So really, it's a battle. It's of time too. Can Israel destroy those rockets before Hezbollah launches them against Israeli cities in the center of the country? So it's a very, very high-stakes situation with a great danger of severe escalation, maybe to regional war, but nobody wants that. So my guess is that this will go on for a month or so, and Israel will come close to destroying Hezbollah. But in the end, these things always end in negotiations, and probably that's what will happen this time.
Do you have the sentiment that expressed that the Israelis have overreacted?
Well, yeah. I mean, the United Nations, the European Union, France, Greece, everybody's condemning Israel's what they call Israel's overreaction. I mean, when you on the face of it, Don, don't forget, what have you got? Oh, there goes the artillery. Well, they've been firing all day. You've got 2 Israeli soldiers kidnapped, 8 soldiers killed, and as a result of that, what's happened? You've got this huge operation against Lebanon. So clearly, on the face of it, it's an enormous overreaction. But from Israel's point of view, they say this is a war, this is a battle that's been on the cards now for years. Hezbollah's been building up and threatening Israel and attacking after Israel withdrew from South Lebanon. So from Israel's point of view, they're not overreacting, they're just fighting the war that had to be fought sooner or later, because Hezbollah is a real threat to the north of Israel. And as I said earlier, the Israeli civilian population seems to be, from what I can see, almost 100% behind the government, saying this is going to be a tough, long fight, but we're with you till the end, because this threat from Hezbollah has to be destroyed. One Israeli person we met today in a bomb shelter in Nahariya said, look, we've been living, and he made this gesture. He said, we've been living with a knife at our neck. How long can we do that? How long can we survive with a knife at our neck? He said, the government must continue and must destroy Hezbollah, otherwise we have no life in the north of Israel. So that's the way it is, Don.
You take care of yourself, will you, Martin? Thank you very much.
What's going on here?
Martin Fletcher, NBC News. They're in the middle of that, 17 after the hour, here on the Imus-7 Morning Program. Talk more with the 2 terrorists here in the studio coming up. That's unfortunate.
Imus in the morning.
The last time you replaced your ink cartridge? Then come in to Office Depot. Office Depot has over 400 ink and toner items in stock. Plus, save up to 15% on HP multi-packs versus single packs. Or save up to 15% on Office Depot brand ink versus the national brand. Office Depot never runs out of ink. Neither should you.
Prostate cancer. It's an important subject. Did you know there are more new cases of prostate cancer each year than any other cancer? That's why it's so important to get regular doctor checkups and ask about ways to reduce your risk of prostate cancer. You can also switch your multivitamin to One-A-Day Men's Health Formula, a complete multivitamin specially formulated with selenium, which emerging research suggests may help reduce the risk of prostate cancer. One-A-Day Men's is a proud sponsor of the Lance Armstrong Foundation. For more information on cancer survivorship, go to livestrong.org.
Imus!
What is it, Bob?
You can take this
job.
job.
Take this job and shove it. So you're quitting, huh?
Yep.
I bet you're going to start your own business.
Right.
What do you know about starting a business? You're going to buy a business, start from scratch. How about startup money?
Well...
You even know where to get startup money?
Yeah, my brother.
Got a business plan? Can't raise money to start a business without a business plan.
I can't?
You're pathetic. You need Bruce Berman's book. It's called I Got Here, You Can Too. A master's course in becoming a millionaire. Want to be a millionaire, Bob?
That's the idea.
Then you got to buy his book. It shows exactly how Berman made a fortune in business and how you can too. Want a profitable business, Bob?
Uh-huh, sure.
Thanks, Bob. This is Bruce Berman. If you want to make $5, $10, even $15,000 a month right now from the comfort of your own home, then you don't have to buy my book. I will give you a free copy of my book and my Making Money CD. That's over $100 value. This limited time free offer is available only on my website, 3bruce.com. That's number 3, bruce.com. That's number 3, bruce.com. You could be making money within 30 days, guaranteed. So log on to 3bruce.com now.
Nuclear power could help combat global warming. It could lessen our dependence on air-polluting fossil fuels. It's even making greater political and economic sense. But will it ever be not scary? Find out. Don't miss the nuclear option, the cover story of this Sunday's New York Times Magazine. Also in Sunday's magazine, meet Floyd Landis, the cyclist who is contending in this year's Tour de France despite a busted hip. Consider whether close friendships are becoming passé in the MySpace.com era. Sit in on a conversation with Jane Goodall. Take a look at new maximalist and minimalist fashions for women and ponder some of the moral dilemmas of everyday life in Randy Cohen's ethicist column. The New York Times Magazine, it's not just a magazine, it's a magazine. Pick up your copy of the Sunday Times at a store or newsstand near you. You can even get it on Saturday evenings at participating retailers, including many area Starbucks.
Xbox, GameCube, PlayStation. You know that game systems are selling like hotcakes, but that's nothing compared to the money being made selling the games and accessories for game systems. Want to get in on the action? Want to learn how to do it for free? If you've been waiting for the next big thing, we want to send you free software that will show you everything you need to know to sell games and accessories online. That's right. You can get a piece of the video game profit. And here's the best part. You don't have to buy or even store anything. You just collect your money. And when it comes to gaming, there's a lot of money to be collected. If you think that gaming is just a fad, don't call. But if you know a good thing when you see it, pick up the phone and get your free software that will plug you into the lucrative world of gaming. For your free software, call ISI at 1-800-600-5971. The number that will change your life forever is 1-800-600-5971. You gotta call for your free software. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-600-5971.
With the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Organ transplants, they save lives, but only if you help. Donate life. Be an organ and tissue donor. Learn more at 866-99-DONATE or go to organdonor.gov. Starting Passaic County, New Jersey, eastbound on 46 after Van Houten Avenue in Clifton, we have an accident being pushed off to the shoulder. Also northbound on the Garden State Parkway after exit 150 in Bloomfield, with another crash on the right shoulder.
What the hell are you wearing today? You look like you ought to be standing outside the Lincoln Tunnel saying, hey, baby, want to have a party.
What? Mr. Imus, get out of here. There's nothing wrong with what I'm wearing. I'm going on vacation. This is my last day before vacation, and I'm...
Well, you're not on vacation now.
I'm in vacation mode.
Better put some clothes on. You come to work.
Clothes on. Thank you, sir. 5 to 10 minutes of
90 degrees here today.
That's right.
You're a little long in the tooth to be going around dressed like a Barbie.
Oh, man. Let's not talk about long in the tooth.
That's not long in the tooth. Please, come on. I'm Rear End Rondo with the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
Yeah, 22 after the hour here on the Imus-7 program. A rather ugly conversation that y'all miss around the country. I just had with Tracy Burgess.
Wasn't nice.
Who's in the studio dressed like she had to be standing outside the Holland Tunnel saying, hey, baby, want to have a party.
I think she looks pretty hot.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear.
She looks hot. I mean, come on.
My wife's here and my son. And
a little cross-country girl-on-girl action. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, no, Omar, that's not what we're...
You got those long, fit legs.
Oh,
right.
baby, keep talking, Deidre.
Yeah, baby.
What is wrong?
Sculpted arms.
I'm liking this. Could you talk really slow?
Hi, Omar.
So anyway, and you have shorts on, Tracy?
What? Yes, sir, I do.
Don't you have to go to your other dopey job today?
Yes, sir, I do.
You're going to go dressed like that?
No, sir, I'm not. I'm going to work out right after this.
All right. 23 after the hour here in the Imus Morning program.
You got to wake the boys up over there, right?
We'll talk with, those mouth-breathing degenerates like... Is Rich Ackerman in yet, Lou?
Yeah, he's been here for like about 2 hours.
What's Rich doing?
Oh, my God, what's that, a woman?
He's putting plastic down over his desk.
And Jack Jacobs is on the set there in Secaucus, and my wife says, what's he doing there? I said, well, he sort of works there and stuff. She said, what, does he just wander around and every time there's a war? I said, well, there's a constant war, so...
Well, I can hear explosions everywhere.
No, I said, you didn't listen to me. I said, what does he walk around waiting for someone who needs analysis on the war?
Yes. So.
As if I don't know there's a war going on. I was telling the kids about the war yesterday.
Good. That's
but they have their own war to deal with, so...
Yes. Well, okay. And how they all do it. Oh, gosh, it's almost
Look
time
at
to go.
how adorable they are.
Yeah,
They're absolutely adorable.
Right.
These kids are absolutely precious.
Yeah.
See them?
Yeah. Yes, I can see them. Don't you have to go feed the horses now?
I mean, you go on complaining about, this hurts and that hurts, and trying to get pills from the doctor yesterday.
No.
And then you've got the nurse like, my God, Charles.
We don't need to reveal that
Here all
information.
these kids have, all these meds and stuff and all this.
Right.
I mean, it's just,
I didn't try to
You can't make it up. And Don pulls his sock off for the doc and nurse. Look at his planner's wart.
Oh, my God.
I mean, what is that? Your planner's wart. And these kids have serious problems and serious issues that the doctor and nurse should be paying attention to. And they're looking at a planner's wart.
You be quiet,
and your
Wyatt.
foot
You'll be in your room until you're 28 years old.
I don't care.
Smelled. Didn't it, Wyatt?
It smells like dead fish.
Can you two get out of the studio?
No, but you can't be doing that. You can't be saying, "Hey, Doc, pay attention to me over here,"
That's not
and
what
push
I did.
the kids aside when the kids
I didn't push any child aside.
One of the children, he's in bed right now with a little fever. Poor little thing, you know.
Oh, Jacob,
he's having a tough time out here.
How about
very,
washing
very tough.
your feet? How about they are lying?
Charles. I mean, the doctor had to put a mask on just to look at his planner's wart.
They are misrepresenting what
Barbara
happened.
kept turning around as if she was going to throw up. I mean, I just felt bad for both of them.
That is just not true. That is a vicious lie.
And he's like, and you're sticking it in her face even more. Look, did you get it all out? Did you get it all out?
It's 25 after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. I love you both, and now you have to leave.
No, we don't.
We love you too, honey.
Okay, please welcome to and kids, go feed the horses.
All right.
It's 25 minutes after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. Please welcome Jack Jacobs, who, among many other things, was a Medal of Honor recipient, and then went down to Wall Street and made a bunch of money. Now he's here to talk about the world blowing up, isn't it, Jack?
Well, it certainly looks like it is. I'd like to go back to the Tracy conversation, skip by the planner's wart, and go back to the Tracy conversation. I'm having a cardiovascular event. No, things are not going...
And you know how I got rid of the planner's wart?
No, I ask?
Yes. I put a piece of duct tape on it.
And just
left it there.
Pull it off? Oh, you left it there.
And about 2 weeks later, it came off. Very good, huh?
Fascinating.
But same thing they're repairing the space shuttle with, duct tape.
Well, see, it works.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you going to say now before you were just salivating over Tracy?
Well, we're going to talk about the Middle East, which does appear as if it's going right down the toilet. You asked a very interesting question and a very pointed question, and Martin Fletcher gave a very fascinating and very pointed response. When you talked about proportionality, it's not a question of people like Jacques Chirac, who's saying, well, this is out of proportion, is merely trying to be critical and is not looking at it from any standpoint other than that as a Frenchman. You got to look at it in a military way. What is it you're trying to accomplish? Well, if you're just trying to irritate people, then yeah, it's probably out of proportion. But Martin Fletcher said, and I think he's 100% correct, and so do a lot of other people, that the issue here is the existence of Hezbollah. And as an agent of both Syria and Iran, funded by Iran, nurtured by or permitted by the Lebanese government and nurtured by Syria, and dedicated to pushing Israel into the sea. And so if you want to put up with that, which Israel does not, then you respond proportionately. If you don't want to put up with that, then you try to kill them. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. I was last in the region in northern Israel about a year ago, April. No, it wasn't even that long ago. And you go up into northern Israel and you stand right there on the border and you look into southern Lebanon, and the place is populated with Hezbollah. There are bunkers everywhere and Hezbollah flags flying everywhere. They are in control of every place in Lebanon south of South Beirut, to be quite honest.